The zodiac sign of Virgo, the 23rd of August to the 23rd of September, is symbolized by the Virgin. Virgo corresponds to the period between Mabon, the autumn equinox, and Samhain, also known as Halloween, marking the transition from the harvest season to the descent into winter. As the days grow shorter and nature prepares for dormancy, Virgo symbolizes a time of reflection, purification, and preparation for the coming darkness. It embodies the earthly energy of late summer, encouraging us to tend to the details of our lives, organize our resources, and discern what is essential for the journey ahead. Virgo is located in the southern celestial hemisphere. It is the second largest constellation in the sky and is most prominently visible during the spring months in the northern hemisphere. The brightest star in Virgo is Spica, also known as Alpha Virginis. Spica is a binary star system consisting of two stars orbiting each other. It is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and serves as a prominent marker for the constellation. Virgo is home to a vast collection of galaxies, including the Virgo Cluster, one of the nearest galaxy clusters to the Milky Way. The cluster contains hundreds of galaxies, many of which are visible through telescopes and binoculars. In recent years, astronomers have discovered that Spica has at least one confirmed exoplanet orbiting around it. This discovery highlights the ongoing exploration of planetary systems beyond our solar system. The glyph represents the M for Mother or Mary, with the Vesica Pisces attached, which represents the womb. The Virgo constellation has inspired many myths and legends that reflect themes of fertility, purity, and divine femininity. Virgo embodies the archetype of the Virgin Goddess, often revered as the Great Goddess or the Great Harlot. These divine figures possess a unique duality, simultaneously embodying traits of virginity and motherhood, as their power emanates directly from within themselves, independent of any consort or deity. Virgo is associated with the concept of virginity, not in the modern sense of chastity, but rather as a symbol of purity, innocence, and self-sufficiency. In ancient cultures, virgins were often seen as sacred and untouchable, embodying qualities of independence and divine connection. The constellation's depiction of a maiden holding a sheaf of wheat symbolizes the Virgin Goddess's association with agriculture and the harvest, emphasizing her role as a nurturer and provider. Grain goddesses, symbolic of the harvest, are frequently depicted seated upon mounds of grain, resembling sacred altars, or holding sprouting grains in their hands. They are revered as patrons of healing and enlightenment, imparting upon humanity the wisdom of civilization, including literacy, mathematics, astronomy, and the creation of essential commodities such as beer and bread. Virgo, as a zodiac sign, governs applied mathematics and practical sciences, essential for both astronomical observations and the organization of society. The precision of calendars aids in determining optimal times for sowing seeds and harvesting crops, while knowledge of flora and fauna contributes to societal prosperity and sustenance. Moreover, grain goddesses are intricately intertwined with the mythos of the dying and resurrecting god. Although this role originated with the goddess herself, fertility is intricately linked to the concept of death and rebirth, as seeds must perish to facilitate the growth of new life. The harvest season, marked by the threshing of crops, symbolizes another transformative cycle of death and resurrection, perpetuating the eternal cycle of life and renewal. In Greek mythology, Virgo is often linked to the goddess Demeter, the divine embodiment of agriculture, fertility, and the harvest. Demeter's daughter, Persephone, was abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld, leading to Demeter's grief and barrenness of the earth. The story of Demeter's search for Persephone and the subsequent reunion is intricately connected to the cycle of the seasons, with Demeter's growing sorrow causing the earth to wither in winter and bloom in spring, reflecting the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. Virgo is also sometimes associated with Astraea, the Greek goddess of justice and innocence. According to myth, Astraea was the last of the immortals to leave Earth during the Golden Age, symbolizing humanity's loss of innocence and the transition to a more corrupt and chaotic era. Virgo's association with Astraea reflects themes of purity, righteousness, and the longing for a return to the lost Golden Age of peace and harmony. In ancient Greece, Artemis was a virgin moon goddess of the hunt. She was chaste and fiercely independent, and merciless towards any man who offended her. Artemis is usually depicted with her trademark bow and arrow, often accompanied by deer and hunting dogs, and she reveals Virgo's love of nature and the wilderness. In Babylonian astrology, Virgo was called the furrow and represented by the grain goddess Shelah, holding an ear of barley. In Babylonian star lore, the goddess Erua is holding a date palm because bread and date were the staple diet of the Babylonians. Inanna, and later Ishtar, is the fertility goddess who was known as the temple harlot. She was worshipped in rites of sacred prostitution, where her priestesses would have ritual sex with the king to illuminate him, which entitled him to his king status and to maintain the fertility of the land. Unlike today, these rites weren't seen as degrading or shameful. Nisaba is another Sumerian grain goddess of writing, wisdom, and the harvest. She was depicted with barley growing out of her shoulders and was the scribe of the gods and record keeper and a teacher who brought the gifts of civilization to humanity. The Sumerian healing goddess, Ninisina, was called the doctor of the land and the great healer. She stood at the boundary between life and death and presided over births as a midwife. She later became identified with the Babylonian goddess Gula-Bau was a goddess in the underworld who lived in a garden at the center of the world. She was a grain goddess and was known as the great physician who could heal and bring the dead back to life. Her epitaphs include Lady of the Birth, Preserver of Life, Counselor of the Kings, she is able to restore life, she who waters the tree that forms the axis of the world and offers fruit to her worshippers. The garden at the center of the world is also known as the Garden of Eden. There's a cylinder seal dated back to circa 2500 BCE that shows two figures sitting at either side of the tree of life and a serpent rising behind one of them. This depicts Gula-Bau and her consorts offering up the fruit of knowledge. Across various cultures, Virgo is often depicted as a maiden carrying sheaves of wheat or holding a cornucopia, symbolizing abundance, fertility, and the harvest season. In agricultural societies, the constellation's appearance in the sky marked the beginning of the harvest cycle, and rituals and celebrations were held to honor the earth's bounty and ensure a successful harvest. Virgo is the discerning healer and diligent steward of the zodiac. Symbolized by the maiden holding a shaft of wheat, Virgo embodies purity, service, and meticulous attention to detail. Ruled by Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication, Virgo channels the analytical prowess and practical wisdom needed to navigate life's complexities. Beyond its surface traits, Virgo holds a profound, esoteric significance. At its core, Virgo symbolizes the journey of purification and refinement, the quest for wholeness and integration amidst the chaos of existence. Like the maiden separating the wheat from the chaff, Virgo invites us to discern truth from illusion, to cultivate inner purity, and to align with the divine order inherent in all things. Corresponding to the human body, Virgo governs the digestive system and the abdomen, areas of profound importance within esoteric teachings. The digestive system serves as an alchemical crucible where physical substance is transmuted into energy and vitality. It is through the process of digestion that we assimilate nutrients, release toxins, and nourish the body, mind, and spirit complex. The abdomen, symbolic of the womb of creation and the seat of the second chakra, represents the fertile ground where our dreams and intentions take root. Like the virgin soil awaiting the seed, the abdomen embodies the potential for growth, transformation, and rebirth. It is here that we confront our deepest fears, release emotional blockages, and give birth to new beginnings. In esoteric lore, the digestive system is regarded as the gateway to spiritual purification, the means by which we cleanse and purify the physical vessel, aligning with the higher frequencies of divine love and light. It is through the process of inner purification that we awaken to our true nature, shedding layers of conditioning and illusion to reveal the radiant essence of our soul. Through the energy of Virgo, we are called to embrace the path of self-mastery, to honor the sacred temple of the body as a vessel of divine expression, and to serve others with humility, compassion, and integrity. As we honor the esoteric essence of Virgo, we recognize the sacredness of our journey, our spiritual growth, healing, and self-discovery that leads us ever closer to the divine source from which we all originate.